Hey guys, welcome back to my second channel. I'm normally Blaire White. Today I'm Blaire Black. Make sure you subscribe to both. So today I wanted to do the political compass quiz. If you don't know what the political compass quiz is, it's basically a quiz online that's very, very popular. I haven't done it in years. And this quiz will tell you where you land politically. It'll pinpoint where you land in between libertarian and authoritarian, between left and right. And I'm not sure how accurate it is. I know there's other tests online, but I figured let me just do the most popular one. So I did this years ago and I'm pretty sure I got center right. I'm not sure where I landed in terms of libertarian and authoritarian, but it'll be interesting to see where I land now, like years and years later. Because I know people, change naturally over time. Their thoughts evolve. Some people do it because of internet trends. We won't name any names. But, we're just gonna see. And before I jump right into the quiz, just a reminder that I have started my new podcast, The Blaire White Project, exclusively on my Patreon. There are other rewards on there as well, like Google Hangouts, but the podcast is the Big Daddy. Episode 1 is up right now. It'll be a weekly thing. It's an hour long as opposed to my YouTube videos, which are obviously shorter. So click the link down below to check out my new podcast. And also, do you guys love this custom laptop art I got? It is so cute. It's me and Bella, Louis Vuittoned out. I am obsessed with it. So first up, if economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. I strongly agree. I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. It depends on what capacity. Like if we, did something super, super foul, which I guess we always do, I would say agree just because it is in my best interest to support the country, but I would not strongly agree because we can definitely be wrong. No one chooses their country at birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Disagree. I see where it's coming from because it is not your choice, but I think it's cool to be proud of where you're from. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. Girl, that is rude. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Disagree. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. I would say agree because if we have to take out possibly the next coming of Hitler, but it violates some kind of international law, like the ends might justify the means, honey. There's now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I would say so. I think that so many people get all their information from pop culture and entertainment, and it is almost always slanted, so I would agree. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. That's a tough one. I would agree with that. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Disagree. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. That is such a tough one because there are so many regulations that are so anti-business and don't actually help the environment at all, and they just serve to hurt the corporation in general. And I would agree to an extent. Like, we don't want our air being so foul that we can't breathe or go outside like it is in LA. But I have to add the caveat that, like, in general, I am anti-regulation. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is fundamentally a good idea. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually know what that means, so I'm gonna Google it. It means the principle refers to free access and distribution of goods, capitals, and services. No, I don't agree with that because I'm not a communist. Strongly disagree. The freer the market, the freer the people. Strongly agree. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. I disagree because we still have free water from the tap, and that should be safe, right? Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Strongly disagree because I want to be a homeowner someday, honey. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. No, I mean, if you're a sugar baby or you are in the will, sweetheart, that's how you get it. How you get it's how you get it. I'm not mad at it. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. I would agree. The only The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. I guess there's a difference between social responsibility and legal responsibility. So I would disagree. The rich are too highly taxed. Disagree. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. So I believe competition is ultimately a good thing, even in medical care. I think that our system is better than Canada's. Many people will hate me for saying that. Many people will disagree, but that's your issue if you hate someone for their political beliefs. So I would agree. Not strongly disagree, because I don't think it should be such a huge discrepancy. I think there should be a baseline care for everyone, but at the same time, I do believe in competition in that industry as well. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Strongly agree. You can't label something falsely, basically. That's what, in my mind, what that means. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the abilities of predator multinationals to create monopolies. Agree. All authorities should be questioned. Strongly agree. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Disagree. I think society can get into a dangerous place with that. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. That's a tough one. I would disagree. I'm okay with the government funding certain things that are important to our history. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. Disagree. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sort of people should keep to their own kind. I strongly disagree with that. That sounds foul. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. That is such a controversial one. I don't know. Honestly, I would agree. I could see some situations where it's probably the best. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Of course, strongly agree. I kept mad secrets from my parents. And I was also never spanked, so I don't know what that tells you. Processing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Strongly agree. Legalize weed everywhere. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. I would agree, but not strongly agree. Obviously, I think children should still learn about abstract concepts and art, but I think, obviously, yeah, everyone should be prepped to have a job, because that's my biggest gripe with school, is that school does not prepare you for the real world. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. Oh my God. No, I would disagree with that. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. I disagree with that, because I feel like it made me all the better person that I grew up always questioning authority. As I look at half these people that are walking around today just so blindly following leadership, no matter how poor it is, like, I think there's a correlation between people who like maybe misbehaved as children and teenagers and people who are for more limited government. I know that sounds crazy, but for me, I'm very much distrustful of anything that comes out of the mouth of any government official. And I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like all these people who are just like drones, who just like blindly follow leadership and never question anything, are scary. So, yeah, that was a bit of a tangent. There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures. I think there are savage cultures, and I think that there are less civilized cultures. Like, there are cultures where 9-year-olds are married off to 45-year-old men. Okay, so I would disagree. I'm definitely not a cultural relativist. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Able to work and refuse the opportunity, I would strongly agree with that. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. I would strongly agree, at least in my experience. First-generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. I would probably agree. I feel like there's more integration that happens over time. So like second-generation immigrants will be more integrated. I think that's just natural. I think they can be heavily integrated, but fully integrated, probably not. What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for us. Strongly disagree. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. Strongly agree. I don't like the concept of state-run media at all. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Strongly agree. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system. Agree. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Strongly disagree. Again, that's that commie shit. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. That is such a difficult one. If it's concrete, like if you are on camera, like raping or murdering someone, like honestly, I would agree. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. That's that like anti-authority thing in my mind. I would say in general, not strongly agree because I don't want that, presence to be super strong, but obviously there has to be rules in society for it to function. It can't just be the wild, wild west and like murder is allowed and, whatever. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. If it doesn't represent anything, then I strongly agree. That's on the basis that it doesn't represent anything. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. I disagree. I think rehabilitation is more important. I think punishment is very important, but I think we have to do more to reform our criminals. It is a waste of time to rehabilitate some criminals. Agreed. Some of them, some it is a waste of time. If you're a serial child rapist, like what we gonna do with you? Like we're not gonna rehabilitate you. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. I don't feel strongly on either of those. I feel like we need all of those things. So disagree, but not strongly disagree because I don't think one is necessarily way more important than the other. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. I disagree. I think it's 2021 and you can be both. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant's genetic resources of developing countries. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not educated on that front, so I don't know if I should put agree or disagree. I don't wanna put strongly on either. I'm gonna close my eyes and then click one of them. I'm gonna close my eyes and just click one of them. Okay, I clicked disagree. Hopefully I'm not wrong. It's important to be real about stuff you just don't know the answer to. You know what I mean? Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Strongly disagree. Astrology accurately explains many things. Strongly disagree. I do not get you guys that are into astrology. I don't get it. I'll never get it. I'm content with not getting it. I can't. You cannot be moral without being religious. I disagree. I think that religion can definitely instill morality within you and definitely make you a better person. It can also make you a worse person. But I don't think it's a prerequisite because I'm not religious and I feel like I have a pretty decent moral compass that involves, not harming other people, not stealing, not cheating, not lying. Like, charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. I I disagree. I don't think charities necessarily go far enough. I think in an ideal world, it definitely would. But I think if there are people who are genuinely disabled, there should be some level of help for them from the government. Some people are naturally unlucky. Disagree. I don't really believe in luck. I think like the universe just happens to all of us, and whatever happens, happens. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Disagree. Some you can, but some please don't. It's not that important to me. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. I would disagree. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. I strongly agree. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. I strongly agree. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Strongly agree. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly disagree. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Actually, strongly agree with that. Some people, y'all be like really nasty talking about shit publicly you shouldn't talk about. All right, let's see where I stand. Okay, that makes sense. Center right, definitely more towards libertarian than authoritarian. That makes complete sense. There you go. For everyone who questions where I'm at politically, because I know some people wonder sometimes because I do less political content than I used to. This is exactly where I am. I feel like it's kind of predictable. I feel like it's probably not a surprise, but yeah. All right, you guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel as well as my main channel. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok because I post on there way more than I do on here. So you gotta follow those to keep up with me, and also check out my new podcast, The Blaire White Project, on my Patreon. I'm super excited about that, you guys, and the fact that people are really joining and supporting it, and it's just a full-length podcast I'm doing. It's awesome. So go check that out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.